If you would label yourself a quote unquote Democrat in the year of our Lord 2025, you are indeed severely mentally compromised. And that's me putting it lightly, gently. Y'all know I can go all the damn way there. If you consider yourself a quote unquote liberal, a progressive, at this point in history, you're all the way off. Something's wrong with you. You've fallen and you can't get up. Now, this just so happens to be the case with old grandma over here who's, she has some advice for her grandchildren as far as what is appropriate as well as what is not. What does she have a problem with? What are her values and virtues and what does she stand on and those things that she is pretty much okay with. Now, for some of y'all, you may think to yourself, oh, surely this is grandma. She must care for the health, the safety, the well-being of her grandchildren. Well, let's go ahead and see if that's the truth.
Are your granddaughters?
They are 6 and 8.
Would you support them to get hormone blockers to become the other gender?
I would absolutely support them to get hormone blockers. The idea of one of my granddaughters learning that they're going to start having their period if they don't get their hormones blocked, even though they're identifying and portraying as a male. How horrible that would be. So yes, definitely.
If your granddaughter came to you and wanted to get a tattoo, what would you say?
That would be...
What do y'all think she's going to say? Before I do the great unveiling, what's the answer that grandma gets to that one? So first of all, grandma stated that she would be willing to have her 6 and 8-year-old grandchildren go on hormone blockers. 6 and 8 years old. She would be willing to chemically castrate them because they feel like there's something else, i.e. their parents are severely, or their grandparents in this case, are severely demented, sometimes severely narcissistic individuals, right? They're far gone on that narcissism spectrum to where they would literally use their children as a bait per se for narcissistic supply, to virtue signal to the rest of the world that they are high and mighty, that they indeed are virtuous, and that their children are manifestations of that quote unquote virtue. Yeah. So grandma over here seems pretty sane to me, would have her young grandson be turned into a pretend girl and her young granddaughter be turned into a pretend boy, chemically and surgically, likely. What would she say about a tattoo? A simple old, regular old tattoo.
Be more difficult. I always told my 3 sons the one thing I ask is please don't get tattoos.
Really? Why tattoos?
There's just something so permanent about it.
Permanent?
Ain't no damn way in heaven and earth. Ain't no damn way. No. So I'm going through puberty all over again, just talking all this puberty hormone blocker shit. So you're telling me that having your grandson have his you-know-what chopped off, that doesn't ring of permanence to you. Having your granddaughter have her tatas removed, that doesn't ring of permanence to you. Having them turned into something else at a hormonal level doesn't scream permanence to you, yet getting an ink drawing on their skin is. See, folks, this is why these people, and I'm not saying the whole generation because it's not all of them, but there's something about these old ass hippies. They just couldn't shake the mental illness from the past. There's too much LSD consumed. There were too many goomers consumed. There were too many, not gooners, you're nasty, gooms. If you know, you know, right? The shrooms. There was too much, let's be real. The Maui Wowie is a whole lot stronger nowadays, but still, they were saturated with amphetamines, with hallucinogens, etc., that warped their brains to a place where I don't think they ever came back. They never came back to regular. These are the people who are out there, protesting the fascist regime of Donald J. Trump. Elon Musk, how dare you stop the government from robbing us? We are in support of a government that robs us and that wants us to essentially live in the most dangerous neighborhoods, dangerous communities, and overall society possible. I stand behind that. How dare you, the fascist who allows for free speech? I want censorship. That's my kind of non-fascistic government. These are those insane people. So, damn, I didn't even get through the whole video. Okay, the more times I stop a video, the more I'm just mind boggled. That's really what it is. It's not just because I love to hear myself talk. It's genuinely because I don't know. I'm overcome.
It's pretty permanent. It's very difficult to get them lasered off or removed.
You don't think it's like permanent to change your gender? How old?
Do y'all see that? This is the woman who is in support of blowing up Teslas. That's the face. That's the face. That's the face of psychosis right there. Oh my God. I was not prepared for this one. Not today. I'm here with it. Okay, we're ready for some madness. I was not ready for Nana to be explaining to us how she would have her grandchildren chemically castrated whilst not being the biggest fan of a tattoo. That's quite permanent. Changing their entire biology. I mean, that's, While she also can't say yes or no on that one because technically speaking, the boy's a girl and the girl's a boy, right? So it's like, is it really permanent if that's just what they are? That would be the argument. I'm being a devil's advocate. She could have taken that argument, but I don't think two brain cells are connecting in that head of hers. I think she's been long gone for a very long time. She got that old people scent on her. I can tell. Anyway, what were we talking about in the comments? So that woman is gone. What a disaster. Yep, that's the first comment I saw. I liked it before. But I got 10 seconds into the video, shared it with the rest of y'all. But before I even saw the rest, I said, this woman looks crazy. Okay. Old doesn't mean wise. Here's a beautiful example of stupid old people. Agreed. What do we have here? Permanent. She seriously can't believe the old woman said it. Yeah. Are you for real? Facts. Are you for real? Not all Biden supporters are Edos, but all of them decided that kids is a deal breaker. Oh, isn't a deal breaker. Excuse me. This is what happens when you get your whole worldview from CMSNBC, not just television, but CMSNBC and the rest of these propaganda mechanisms that are part of the whole propaganda machine. The meme made quite some time ago by woke blah blah blah. What's that? That's too permanent. You'll regret it. Tattoo shop, and then you have gender affirming. The way they manipulate language is incredible. This is real dystopian. This is real 1984 George Orwellian sort of I guess euphemisms and things of that nature, right? There's a great bit by George Carlin, though he is indeed one of these old hippies. There's a great bit he does about language. It's like, oh, euthanize, and then it's like, no, you mean like killing the old, unaliving the old person, or even unalive. That's technically a euphemism, right? We use words, coded word and language. Women's reproductive rights. Oh, you mean taking a baby's life? Like that's what you mean. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, these are technically trans people. No, it's a dude pretending to be a chick pretending to be a dude. Like coding language is what they're masters at. Gender affirming. You mean mental illness affirming. Yeah, these people are sick indeed. Let's see what we got here. Effing boomers. Yes, facts. Circuits fried. Okay, so far this is the best comment. Circuits are indeed fried. Circuits have been fried for a very long time. All right, she's a brainwashed cultist. They glitch when they're questioned outside of their paradigm. They can't process the information. The willful and depraved stupidity of these people is mind-boggling. Boomers are deranged by mass media. That's MSM. mass media, and the right on 60s hippie BS. Yeah, okay. That's my tweet of the day. It's not the funniest one, but it is indeed the most straight up. The boomers are deranged by MSM. They are. They're the ones who grew up on it. They believe in it more than life itself. You know, they listen to the Walter Cronkites and the Barbara Walters of their time. I don't know why Barbara has a deeper voice than Walter, but I guess that's how that goes. Maybe she actually did. Who knows? Maybe she was a they, them. And 60s hippies BS. Actually, I just watched the Bob Dylan movie. What's it called? Like an Complete Unknown or something like that. I watched that with my girl yesterday. It was cool. It was okay. I was expecting more. Timothy definitely nailed the voice and things of that nature, mannerisms and the quirkiness of Bob Dylan. But yeah, I could see so much wokeness, and I was like, oh, this is like the birthplace of this woke nonsense, right? The lack of morality and things of that nature, and everything's love, man. But truly underlying everything was a deep depression, drug abuse, and infidelity and things of that nature. You know, that's what was underpinning. Lack of morality was the cornerstone of the hippie era. So anyway, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Till the next time, don't be this woman. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3, 6, 5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.